Hi guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching August 11, 2020. It's already a Tuesday. We're going to discuss the Philippine market. So today, actually, the market is quite happy. You could see that we are up 23 points, and you've got advancers 115. Market value slowly picking up 4.9 billion pesos. We continue to have some foreign selling, but it's good to note a few wonderful things. First and foremost, we have seen pure gold continue higher. It's now up 4%. More importantly, pure gold is now trading at a 52-week and an all-time, I think this is a 7-year high. It's now trading at 52 pesos. So for your top gainers, you're seeing Robinson's Land, Robinson's Retail, pure gold up 4%. You've got Alliance Global. We noticed yesterday that it was up, and we think that it would continue. And today it did follow through, up 3%. So we are seeing as well some losers. First Gen 5% down, URC down 2%. So let's take a look at the charts of these companies, and let's take a look at the stats. Okay, let's go to your stats. So from a stats perspective, your Macro Asia is up 8%. You've got good trades. So there was a dividend. We'll discuss the Macro Asia stock dividend. So it was adjusted such that 4.66 up 7.8% to 503. We will go to the charts later on for Macro Asia. And we are seeing, of course, bottoming out of your reopening themes. So your Macro Asia, your Cebu Pacific. So those were mentioned in a couple of days ago. We are seeing some Robinson's Land increase. Let's take a look at that chart. Some retail firms, Merrimart, Robinson's Retail, they are joining the pack of rally with Pure Gold's advance. So this is almost like a supermarket play. So a sector-wide move. And then, of course, we are seeing your Dito Telecom 310, so up 4%. So typically, we have been noticing that ever since and Dito was trading, they were always moving in tandem. So it's as if they were sister stocks, even if they are not the same category. So Merrimart is, of course, a supermarket play, and then Dito Telecom is a third telco play. So, but we have been seeing that correlation to movement very much in tandem. Now, ACH continues higher to 75, and that's your most active gainers today. Let's take a look at your most active. For your most active, you've got a slew of winners today. Pure Gold really was the biggest move in my view. 174 million pesos trading Pure Gold at a higher clip, 4% at 52. We are seeing, of course, PLDT continues to dominate, 1390. We are getting the dividends by somewhere in August, right? So we are seeing as well a rally continuous for Nicolasia. It traded as high as 312 a while ago. And we'll discuss why there could be a potential selling pressure once Nicolasia hits a certain level. But nevertheless, drops from Nicolasia will be bought. We also know secular-wise why it's strong. So JG Summit, I think, is benefiting from URC. So you are seeing some JG Summit up 3%, now trading at 64 pesos. Your ICT continues to be dominant. Now it's trading at 109. As you know, ever since the company reported great earnings, it was trading at 96. Now it's 109. That's 13 pesos up, more than 13%, $13. So more than 14% up within the time span of about 3 days. So let's take a look at these charts. That would be your most active. How come for the losers? Are there losers? I don't want to talk about losers because we don't want to make money from losers. But definitely, some miners have dropped a bit. We were cautioning some resistances from 170 to 190 for Apex mining. Actually, this is not a problem. It's just people trying to take profit. So Apex is down 4%, 166. So there were a lot of people who have been making money on their gold gains, and they're probably just trimming off some of the froth. So Apex and PX down 4%, down 3%. You're seeing some people, a lot of people continue to hold it, but a minority is already trying to trim, take profit. It's okay, they want to take profit. I think a drop for gold near about 140, 150 will continue to encourage a lot of buyers. So it's a buy on dips kind of trade. Now, for the top traded, the banks continue to languish. Your BDO, your BPI continues to go down. BDO is now 88.5, BPI is 61. Banks in general are not yet able to bottom out. Although it's funny that Metro Bank is able to do so, 35 pesos today. So from a banking perspective, we will take a look what are the criteria to analyze them bottoming out. So watch list, let's take a look at the all shares. Are there companies that have materially grown for the week? Let's go week to date. So for the week, the biggest moves have been some nickel-related plays. So Nickel Asia, Nihao, but this one is a little bit on the low volume side, so you don't really need to take a look on that. I'd say Nickel Asia is the only name that is more important in the week to date, even if the rest have been rising. So Nickel Asia is, I think, the more stable one amongst the mining firms. But it shows to you that some people played the nickel through Mark or Nihao or you pseudo slash nickel plays. You're seeing gold also good strength, 13% for the week. So these strong ones are telling you that the market is playing gold and nickel. So we got that. Nickel, APX, and Philex, no? So yeah, so those are the picks that we've made that we are correct with. So far, the other picks that have been rallying in our segment has been ACE-PH. So ACE-PH was correct, Pure Gold was correct, Emperador, we're trying to play Emperador through AGI. So let's go through these topics today. Let's go through the charts. Let's take a look one by one about our top picks. Isa-isa lang. So Nickel Asia and ACE-PH have been winners for us, for all the people who are following this channel. And so far, ACE-PH is really a renewable play. We are seeing some temporary resistance, maybe here at 2.9 and 2.87. So although it's clearly an uptrend, there might be people who are willing to sell a bit. They might trim near 290. So I guess if it rallies to 90 to 3 pesos, I don't know if it will break out. So we need more catalyst for that to happen. So in the short term, I'd say that it's probably a 10% uptick. But even on a downtick, don't worry, because 250 seems to be very much being bought. So if AC energy does fall, you've got a lot of players willing to buy it. Now, ACE-PH, of course, is your Southeast Asian play. A local renewable energy play has been FGen. And FGen has rallied from 14 to 28. You're seeing that any drops of FGen, we notice actually that at 22 that there was significant buyers. You'll notice that 22, if first gen goes down again to 22, they might be willing to buy again. So far it's a trading range. You've got resistance at 27 and some buyers at 22 to 20. So this becomes a trading range. So those are your renewable energy in the Philippines. You've got FGen and you've got ACE-PH. Now, for gold, what happened here is really just profit taking. So some people, they notice that at 170, maybe the highest upside is 190. So they've begun to take profit now. So they're selling. So you can see that the buyers are still here at 130 or below, but the sellers are already trying to take profit. So at 166, there's some profit taking there. Even if it goes down to 160, I'd say that there might be some profit takers there. Or even if it rallies above 180 to 190, you've got some profit taking already happening for your gold. So what's happening in the gold companies, AAAU, Triple AU. So this is the same, no? They saw that gold at 2005, 2050 is having a hard time. So at 2000 to 2050, people are willing to sell. So those who got the gold plays at about 1700, 1750, they're willing to take profit. So careful on your gold plays, no? So there are some profit taking already on gold. We are seeing the same thing here in Philex Mining. So Philex Mining is already giving a sell signal warning here. I'm not trying to frighten you. It doesn't mean that Philex Mining will not go to $4. But if they're seeing that gold is going down, you might see some pressure selling off. So it might even fall down to 340 or 330. Nevertheless, I think that we properly judged that at 270 to 280 was a buying area. So even if you're taking profit there, it's still more than 10% gain. So you're still supposed to be profit taking. Of course, this is a happy thing to share. We have been saying that retail play that we like was Pure Gold. E-commerce was very strong, and we were saying that at 48, 48.50, we were actually saying, is this breakout real already? Because every time it broke 50, it always had a problem. Right now, it looks to be real. So this is the very first time that Pure Gold has ascended 50 bucks. You could see that that is true for the last 7 years. So let's take a look at the 10-year chart of Pure Gold. This rally today of Pure Gold is just a testament that, okay, finally, more and more people are beginning to believe us that Pure Gold is really an undervalued play. And we think that even if you buy at 48 or 50, of course, we were saying that, and it actually fell to 44, 45, and people were saying, Nikki, I think you're wrong. And then we were saying, no. Even at 44, 45, or even at 40 bucks, it's still bound to go higher. So it's good that actually... we're not saying that we are correct, no, but we have been pitching naman Pure Gold ever since 40, ever since 36, even when it fell down to 28. Ano yan, we were just keeping buying pressure all the way. Kahit nga nung bumagsak dito sa 32, buy pa rin eh. So we just never really published any sell. Me personally, I never published a sell. So we just kept on believing in this company all the same. 48, so 46, 44, all that crazy movement, we were just long bias, no? So nevertheless, what's my target for Pure Gold? I think 60 bucks. So 60 bucks. Let's see whether that translates to fruition. So far, we are waiting for we are seeing some other retail going up as well, no? So Robinson's Retail, also your supermarket, we are seeing the first uptick today. It looks like after several pullbacks a day, 70 to 58, we are seeing finally a buy move for RRHI. So if you're buying today at 61, it looks like even at 59 or 60, it's already bottomed out. So I think that this is already a target of about 70 pesos. And you are seeing that people want something stable and predictable cash flows, and supermarkets give you that option. So this one gives you, Nikki gives you a buy rating for RRHI. Although I never published a buy rating for Merrimart, I have to discuss that it seems as if the Filipinos are very speculative, no? So even if Merrimart has no income or very much little income, like what's 1 million versus a billion pesos company, the point here is that people are buying this through hype, not really about the fundamentals. So Merrimart, of course, is getting a lot of traction from the traders. And so far, you're seeing 2 pesos to 3 pesos. That's above 50%. We don't know. I am not trying to speculate what happens to Merrimart. But I would say that people who got stuck at 360 will continue to still sell at 350, 360. So you've got this resistance very clear here at 360. At $3 for a 20% move, you might be risking too much because there are a lot of companies that you could make easy 20% from. I would say that for a 20% gain, there are more fish in the sea. And I'm not saying that Merrimart won't do that, but you might try to check out a few names. Take a look at what these names can do for you. AGI seems to have bottomed out at 550 to $6. This is now $6. Maybe this one can easily go to 7. That will represent a 15% move to you. And if I'm wrong, it goes to 550. I think that there is sufficient buyers naman. So AGI release a play with your Emperador. So of course, this is your Emperador. It has grown 10%. Who owns Emperador? AGI, Andrew Tan. So in general, your properties are still bad. Take a look at what's happening in your properties. Your Mega World continues to languish. Your Ayala Land continues to languish. Your SM Prime continues to languish. So from a property sense, all the properties and the financials in the Philippines continues to languish. So your PSEI today is not being carried by all these big stalwarts. Your PSEI is being carried by your services industry, which is your telecoms, PLDT, your Globe. See naman, PLDT and Globe are lifting the math for the Filipinos, and some miners. Okay, so let's take a look at your index. Sure, PSEI is trading at 5,984. It climbed back to 6,000, even with very, very huge coronavirus cases. The reason being there's a lot of abundant liquidity and money wants to find its way through a lot of bargain hunting. And so even if financials are down, some people are buying some industrial, some holdings. People are buying some miners, I'd say, but it will depend whether they can buy some gold picks below a certain level. And you're seeing service industries go up, holdings industries go up. So you're seeing that JG Summit, which owns your URC, is getting picked up. So some people, they would buy Costco just because pure gold is also going up. We will take a look at the chart as well. You can see that JG Summit now is higher lows, 60 to 64. That is, I think, a play on your URC. So we noticed that URC has temporary sellers at 140, 150. Should URC drop near 130 to 120, you could be buying low. So far also, even with the catastrophic losses of restaurants, no, Jollibee was able to go higher. Take note at 150, there might be some selling, but you could see that higher lows for Jollibee. One of the strongest restaurants for the Philippines, despite losses, no? So fast food chain, because they have cash in the balance sheet, they want to tell their shareholders that they can handle the COVID crisis well, even if it takes a few years or so. So this is more like a bargain hunting play. You know that at 130, 125, people are willing to buy low. Does that mean that people will be willing to buy some Maxes or some pizza, Shakey's Pizza? I'd say that some people are willing at 440 to 480. This is the first signs of some bargain hunting happening for your Maxes. A secondary low before a 450, so that is a double bottoming out for your Maxes group. So have restaurants bottomed? I would say that there are some people who will try to buy even if the fundamentals or even if the financials are not yet showing that turnaround, because these people are bargain hunting in hopes that in the next year they will recover. So Shakey's Pizza actually it bottomed here at 450 and 5 pesos. It used to bottom here at 545. Now you're able to get it at 534. With Jollibee at higher lows, we might see actually some people buying these carnage names for bargain hunting reasons, not necessarily because they believe that Shakey's Pizza or Jollibee or Maxes are gonna have great earnings. So some people will be willing to buy just because they think that it is already priced in. All the negative news is priced in. That's what's happening with your Cebu Pacific. That's what's happening with your Macro Asia. So Cebu Pacific is trying to bottom out. That is a triple bottom. Macro Asia is also trying to bottom out and rallied. That was bottom here. So there was a dividend given. And today, Macro Asia is up. Now it's 5 pesos. It used to trade as high as 6. So this used to be your 720, 20% stock dividend for Macro Asia. Okay? So let's take a look at the questionnaire. Are there questions? Let me see. Okay. There are questions. Is APX undervalued by investors? Why is it still low in volume and value? Actually, APEX has already rallied from 50 centavos to as high as $1, 1 peso 70 cents. So I don't think that people are undervaluing this company. The fact that APEX has already risen 300% in lieu of your gold means that this is one of the few winners that people were actually able to participate. Take a note here, APEX went from 60 cents to 1.8, almost triple your money in just from March, no? So just a few months. So this is one of the few winners. So I don't think that people were undervaluing APEX. It's just that for the last maybe 5 years or so, maybe you're asking me, in the last 10 years, APEX mining has suffered because APEX mining used to trade at 6 pesos. Why did it even trade 60 cents or 90% down? That's because gold from 2012 to 2020, take a note here. I'm going to show to you some gold plays, no? So XAU, USD. What happened from 2012 to 2020? 2012, gold went from 1900 to as low as 11. So it only took 8 years for gold to transfer from 1100 to 1900 again. So yes, you could argue that at peak pricing of gold before, APEX traded as high as 6 pesos. Does it mean that APEX can trade as high as 3 or 4 pesos or even 5 pesos or 6 pesos? I will not speculate on that. I really don't know. But what I can tell you is that if the miner continues to churn out and produce a lot of gold, it has the potential to go up. That's the reason why we said that Apex Mining, we were calling out a buy here at 130, 120. So we were featuring that if this company had gold and gold was rising, then it made sense for it to go as high as $2 or $3 or even as just this 170 to 180. I don't know if we can really see it trade 3 pesos, no? But I will not say sell for this name. People who are profit taking today at 166, I think that if you can enter near 140 or 150 below, it might give you an opportunity. It might be an opportunity. So dips on great names, I wouldn't say sell per se, kasi gold naman is just profit taking right now. Okay, so let me take the other question. I tried to buy Ayala REIT, but there was no allocation. Should we buy tomorrow? Take note that Ayala REIT is just a 5% yield, no? So if you want something stable, I think that it will stay within that IPO price for quite a long while. Like it might take a year or five months or 6 months, because typically a REIT is an Ayala REIT will be bought by investors who are just willing to buy and hold. They won't trade that name. So you don't have to be very you don't have to chase the price, because this is not like an IPO. This is more like a investment for people who will buy it for the dividends every year. So that is how you should think about Ayala REIT. So it doesn't matter if you don't have allocation. You can just wait it out. Now, there is a question. Are you a long-term investor in your gold play? If yes, how long? Are you going to hold it? Also, how about your renewables? Personally, I am more bullish on renewables. So I think renewable energy is it's going to become very big. And so if I had a choice, my better choice really is renewable. So I am more bullish in solar energy. And so I'm actually investing globally, not just in Ayala PH, not just in Ayala Corp Energy, but we are investing in several solar industry players worldwide. There are some Chinese solar manufacturers. There are some microinverters, some American solar firms. What is CFD in eToro? CFD means contract for derivatives. I don't use eToro, but I prefer buying through IBKR, Interactive Brokers, because my sense and from my own research, I believe that Interactive Brokers is the cheapest in terms of margin rates. So I only pay 1.55% if I borrow money. Let's say I have $10,000, or even if I just have $5,000, I can borrow as high as $5,000. So that's what I like with Interactive Brokers, and they only charge me $1 fixed fee. And I can access everything. So I can access Hong Kong, Japan. So let's say I like Nintendo, I can buy it in Interactive Brokers. I can also buy Polish names. I like some Polish names. Polish game developers are a 10x trend for me. What is a cross trade? How does it affect retail investors? A cross trade is a buy and sell between two buyer and seller. So they match each other up. Usually a cross trade happens when it's 20 million pesos or above, or 200 million pesos above. So I think that happened with your Emperador, diba? Your Emperador had a big cross, 5 billion pesos. There was 512,000 shares. There was a cross at 9 pesos. So I'm not sure who bought at 9 pesos, but so far that buyer is now up. Diba? You can see this is a big cross here. There was a big cross here at 9, and then the market followed. But I think that there is a strong sales on liquor as well for Emperador. And so a pick that we have is also to buy Costco. Costco, you have liquor, you've got pure gold inside. So at 5 pesos, maybe the upside can give you 20%. Or at least 10% upside. And your cost, I think, is very low if you buy this company, because it's a cash flow naman eh. If I'm wrong, it goes new lows, maybe 450, diba? So just probably sample, try to test buy. What is the other question? Do you think FGen can follow ACH move this year? Actually, FGen has risen already eh. From, how much was it? Like 12 to 26? Where did FGen come from? It went from 14 to 26, 27 eh. So I think like it's hard to buy FGen at 14, 16. I didn't carefully study first gen, but I know that it is in the right sector. So when it's in the right sector, the thing about FGen is that I think it's just local versus ACE-PH, which wants to be Southeast Asia. So Philippines only has 100 million people, whereas Southeast Asia has 650 million people. So if you're setting your sights to dominate Vietnam, India, and not just the Philippines, I think you have a bigger ambition. So that's what I like about ACE-PH. All the vaccines are good. It's actually helpful because if the vaccines happen, it will actually be better for your casinos and your industry, especially your tourism industry. So you know that casinos have been actually we should discuss Bloomberry. No, Bloomberry I think is a good pick to buy. If Bloomberry goes up to, diba ito, from 5, we actually mentioned Bloomberry at 4 to buy, 5 pesos to buy, at 6 pesos I think it could be bought. Even if it goes down to 5, the fact that if there is a vaccine, there will be Chinese coming back to the Philippines to play again in Bloomberry resorts. So I think like our tourists are really, of course, hampered. Of course, your industry in the Philippines, especially the OFWs and all of the Filipinos and all the tourism related industry badly need Cebu Pacific, no? They really need Cebu Pacific and Macro Asia. So from a critical area standpoint, I'd say that the too big to fail industry of the Philippines is actually the airlines. So we cannot allow like tourism to just become zero. I really believe that at some point, the airlines would be bought either by some bank to help them out, or either by some billionaires, or maybe JG Summit will just raise money to save the company. And JG Summit has already launched. I think he's trying to raise 30 billion pesos abroad, $600 million. Was that true already? Let me check. JGS bonds, issues bonds. Okay, wait. JGS issues bonds or plans to. Plans to. I think there was a news. Ito, biggest Philippine returns to the bond market. So what's happening here is that JG Summit, Robinson's Land, take note here, these are the people who wants to borrow money. BDO, Metrobank, this one already borrowed, tapos na yan. San Miguel wants to borrow again. JG Summit, ito, Ayala Corp, JG Summit, and San Miguel are looking to raise about 125 billion pesos with bonds. So they are among the firms to really want to return to the bond market. So guys, I think that Ayala, JG Summit, and San Miguel will be able to get some cheap money. I think Ayala Corp already got parang I read news that they got. So I've been discussing this in the last few months already, that the cheap money globally would help our big taipans. The tycoons have money to defend themselves in COVID. That's really one of the reasons why Jollibee can handle a 10 billion peso loss in a quarter. Because Jollibee was able to borrow 30 billion pesos at a rate of 3.5%. That's the reason why we're saying, aangat yan, akyat yung Jollibee kasi may pera . So is there optimism in the vaccine? I'm optimistic that within a year or 2 years, we will have the vaccine. And so we will reopen. And the best reopening theme would be the airlines, would be the casinos, even, or the restaurant segment, while they are low. Like you might be able to make 50%. Just have to be patient kasi, you know, Shakey's Pizza is not gonna dwindle to bankruptcy. Jollibee and Maxis are not gonna dwindle to bankruptcy. Those kinds of things. Now, there's a question, any thoughts about AMD? That is for my global topic. AMD at 8081 is quite expensive for me, but I do like AMD, but I prefer NVIDIA. Personally, game processors, I like that. I've been buying that since about 12, 13. Ever since I studied video games, AMD Ryzen is always better. So if you have it, you hold it. But if you're buying only now at 81, maybe you can enter at about 60. The only price that I would pay AMD at the highest was gonna be 60 or 59. And even at 59, I'm not too bullish to buy it. There's a lot of ways to buy semiconductors. And yun. There's a lot of question. How about DMC versus APH renewables? Definitely, I'd go for APH. I do believe that coal is dead, or not dead, but coal power is past its prime. Coal is more expensive. Solar is the cheapest alternative. So I would go for APH. Airline stocks in the US getting some love then recently, agree. So actually, I'd say that people are quite positive that the vaccine will be there. So casinos, airlines, it's really gonna go up. Eventually naman, the industry will not be allowed to die. So yon. Thank you very much. So I hope that you learned something for the day. I am agreeing to all of your picks. I agree with your picks. If you are buying some reopening theme, if you wanna buy Cebu Pacific, Macro Asia, agree tayo dyan. If you like casinos, agree din tayo dyan. Because I do believe that the tourism industry is gonna be helped out some way or another. So yon. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you again tomorrow.